Ethan was used to silence. Living alone on the edge of the Arizona desert, his home was a modest research outpost, more like a cross between a trailer and a laboratory. He had chosen the place deliberately. Few distractions, fewer neighbors. It was supposed to be the perfect setting for his work in exobiology, a discipline he believed would eventually lead humanity toward first contact. Ironically, that contact found him first. The arrival was nothing spectacular. No thunderous roar, no blinding beam from the sky. Instead, it was as though the air simply bent and folded, revealing a ship that shimmered like a piece of quicksilver in the starlight. Ethan had been outside collecting environmental readings when the vessel landed less than 100 meters away. He didn't run, didn't scream. He only stared because for years he had believed this moment would come. What he hadn't anticipated was what happened afterward. The hatch opened, and two figures descended. At first, their silhouettes were humanoid but distinctly alien. Elongated limbs, skin that glowed faintly as though lit from within. But as they approached, their forms shifted, smoothed, rearranged, until they resembled human women. Almost too perfectly, as though sculpted from his own subconscious preferences. "Do not be alarmed," one said, her voice harmonizing with subtle undertones, almost like a chord played softly. "We are here in response to a concern." "A concern?" Ethan asked, forcing calm into his voice despite his hammering heart. "Yes," the second answered, her expression warm but analytical. "We have studied humanity. You require companionship. Our council debated your species, mating needs. It was determined that prolonged isolation risks destabilizing your mind. So we have come." The beginning, arrival and uncertainty. Ethan led them inside, trying to maintain composure while his thoughts raced. Was this real? Hallucination? Government test? Yet the way the floorboards creaked under their steps, the subtle scent of ozone they carried with them, and the way their glowing eyes scanned his home with scientific curiosity, it all felt tangible. They introduced themselves as Soraya and Lithis. Their species, they explained, was ancient and functioned collectively. When they discovered humanity's fragmented and often lonely existence, they decided to intervene. Ethan, they claimed, was chosen because his neural patterns demonstrated resilience and adaptability. "You have endured solitude," Soraya said, her tone both approving and pitying. "Yet solitude is not your species' intended state. Prolong it, and harm arises." Ethan laughed nervously. "So your solution is, what? Send me 2 alien women as roommates?" "Not merely roommates," Lithis replied, tilting her head in thought. "Observers, companions, teachers, perhaps partners. We are uncertain how your biology will guide this." Ethan rubbed his temples. He had wanted contact, but he hadn't expected this. Personal contact. Still, refusing them seemed impossible. He agreed they could stay temporarily. The first nights were awkward. They examined everything. His refrigerator, his books, even his toothbrush, with childlike curiosity. They asked constant questions. Why did he eat plants and animals separately? Why did humans need closed doors when sleeping? Why did music evoke sadness even without words? Ethan tried to answer, though half the time his explanations sounded inadequate even to himself. Yet slowly, he began to feel less like a specimen and more like a host. He cooked meals for them. He showed them films, explained human humor, and taught them about Earth's chaotic history. But in return, they revealed glimpses of their civilization. Theirs was a society without loneliness, without pair bonding as humans knew it. Connection for them was constant, like an unbroken stream of shared consciousness. Their physical bodies were secondary to the communal mind. "You live apart from each other," Soraya observed one evening as they watched the desert stars. "This isolation is unnatural. Among us, such separation would be considered cruelty." Ethan swallowed, struck by the gentle conviction in her words. Was humanity truly broken, or was that just their perspective? The middle, tensions and transformation. As weeks passed, the arrangement grew stranger. The aliens were not passive guests. They began modifying their forms subtly each day. Eyes that shifted color, voices tuned to resonate with him, even subtle alterations in body language. It was as though they were adapting to his subconscious desires, aligning themselves to his comfort. It unsettled him. "You can't just change yourselves to suit me," he protested after Soraya adjusted her features to look more like a woman he once admired. Her glowing eyes softened. "We do not see identity as fixed. We are fluid, adapting to those we bond with. Does this not ease your loneliness?" "It makes me feel manipulated," he admitted. Lythis tilted her head, processing. "Manipulation implies deception. We intend only resonance. We wish to be what you need." This paradox gnawed at Ethan. Were they offering genuine companionship, or were they constructing a reflection of his desires? Could there be real connection when one side constantly reshaped itself to fit the other? At the same time, he couldn't deny the change in himself. For the first time in years, his days carried laughter, conversation, a sense of being seen. They worked with him on his research, offering insights far beyond human understanding. Together they mapped new theories of interstellar microbiology. At night, they sat beneath the desert sky, sharing stories of alien suns and crystalline cities on worlds he had never imagined. And yet, under the beauty, a question lingered. What do they want in return? The answer came one evening when their ship pulsed alive, projecting a message from their collective. The voices overlapped, vast and layered. Report. Have the human's needs been met? Has his stability increased? Is he suitable for integration? Ethan froze. Integration. Soraya glanced at him with something like regret. Our purpose was not only companionship. It was evaluation. If your kind cannot endure without constant connection, then we must determine whether to alter you, or assimilate you into our collective. The word hit him like a blow. Assimilate. He suddenly saw the larger picture. He was not just an experiment in comfort. He was a test case for humanity's future. The climax. Choice and conflict. Ethan's mind spiraled. Integration into their collective promised the end of loneliness, the end of isolation forever. No more human struggle against emptiness, no more fractured hearts. But it also meant the end of individuality, of privacy, of self. "I won't be part of your hive," he snapped, his voice trembling with equal parts fear and defiance. Soraya flinched as though struck. Lythis's expression tightened. "We did not mean to deceive. But your species is fragile. Alone you collapse into violence, despair, or madness. We offer harmony. Why resist?" "Because what makes us human is our struggle," Ethan said. "The mistakes, the longing, the pain, it's part of our identity. If you erase that, what's left isn't us." The ship's projection pulsed again, demanding resolution. Soraya and Lythis stood torn between their duty and their bond with him. Finally Soraya spoke. "We were meant to guide and observe, but we have also grown." His defiance stirs something unexpected. Lythis looked at Ethan, her glowing form wavering with conflict. "Perhaps there is value in imperfection."